Hello and welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. It has been serving my coffee table ever since, and it's a great source of conversation, the kind we used to have in the comic book shop on any given Wednesday. And I'm looking to recreate that here, right now, with you. Hi, how you doing? I use this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. I crack it open to today's date. We look at some art from an Antediluvian age. We read the blurb, and then we talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. This is a 2004 Abrams press book, curated and written by Les Daniels, Geoff Spear, and Chip Kidd. There is a link to the Amazon page in the description. If you'd like your own copy, you could play along at home. It would look great on your coffee table, and it makes a great gift for a geek. I know. And what goes better with a coffee table book and coffee table talk? Pulling up a chair to the coffee table. Bring your own cuppa. Freshly brewed. Oh, look at that. Can you see the steam coming off of that? This is a fresh cuppa. This is Honduras Pacavita Organic. This is all organic. Yes, check this out. Yes, dark chocolate, apple, and cane sugar notes. Yes, and it's a medium roast. And it was roasted a very short time ago, very locally and freshly by a good friend of mine. Check him out. Yeah, keep grinding. Great stuff. Look at this infographic, too. You, too, can make coffee at home. You don't need a pod or to go down the street to Dunkin's or Starbucks. Let me wet my whistle. Let's get to this. Wow, that's a good cuppa. Woo-wee. Yes. I like to start off the show with something that is very important to me. I call it the escapism caveat. We live in interesting times, but I guess that humans have said that through the expanse of history and prehistory. Activists and activism are very important. The world needs help. The living creatures on this world need help. And activists and activism has its space and has its place. Yet, for the past several years, activists have turned into bullies, trying to leverage using shame and guilt and often bad labels. When the fans of the fandoms that they're invading object to being used as a mouthpiece for ideals, it doesn't matter what the ideals are or the intention. What happens is, it's the activists themselves will say, like, oh, you don't like this? Well, that's something wrong with you. And because we're trying to change things, we're trying to make things better. And there was something's just as important as escapism. I mean, as activism, it's called escapism. And escapism is there for us to leave the world's problems behind just for a few moments in a day. And how can you do that when you're constantly being reminded of the world's problems, when you're trying to escape them? And so, I mean, at this point, I look at activists and activism like as if they're an intellectual and cultural colonialist, like colonialism, kind of like, you know, the conquistadors in Christianity and the British Empire and the Indian subcontinent or any other invading force. There was a pre-existing space with a population. This population had a culture, had mores, had a group identity, had group ideals, and group expectations as well, and behaviors. And in comes an invading force, demanding that their way is the only way. And if you're not going to be with this, and you're not going to allow us to use these resources fairly, according to their fairness and their rules, then you are othered, and you are some kind of savage. I mean, I'm a huge fan of history, and I'm just using this lens of history to better see the 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 pattern of behavior, especially with activism and activists in fandom spaces such as comic books, television, sports, even gaming, like electronic gaming, and church too. Church is, church should be about your soul. It's not about material life. It's not about this life. Church is about something greater than that. So it's just activism's pervasive, and it has its space and it has its place. And I've just got a case of compassion fatigue. I don't know. What about you? I don't, like, oh, just another activist just crying about this, skinned knee that, needy this. Oh boy, everybody has wants. Want to hear some of mine? Yeah, I mean, is it fair to have this kind of emotional reaction to it? No, but it's inevitable. And with that, let's get back to the comic books. Today's date, it is July the 29th, and I hope you are doing awesome. Oh, cool. One of my favorites creators. And if you look behind me, that's Batman at the Hall of Justice, going to the computer, the trouble alert. And this was designed by a person named Alex Toth. And we're going to talk about Alex Toth today. It's July the 29th. This is story by Robert Knider and art by Alex Toth from Green Lantern, number 37, March, April of 1949. Oh, Streak, you win again. I'll stay. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, look at the pup. Pooch power is so pervasive that Laura Lacey decides to endure her train trip in a baggage car with Streak, the Wonder Dog. She's secretary to Alan Scott, and he's the pet of Scott's alter ego, the Green Lantern. And they're both on their way to the adventure of the unexpected guest. By this time, the dog had bitten the man, thoroughly upstaging his master in the last few issues of his eponymous comic book. Yeah, so I guess Streak's the Wonder Dog got more popularity than Green Lantern himself in the waning days of the 1940s as superheroes began to cool off, and westerns and horror and kids' fare and pets began to take over funny books. Yeah. And then superheroes came back shortly thereafter in the mid 1950s. It was 1956 specifically with the Silver Age Flash. And remember, the Golden Age lasts from 1938 to 1955. The Silver Age from 1955 until 1956 until 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby myself, from 1970 until 1985. And then in 1985 begins the Copper Age. And let's see, Alex Toth, I'm going to read this from the wiki, was an American cartoonist from the 40s through the 1980s. He's also known for his animation design for Hanna-Barbera animated features such as Super Friends, The Fantastic Four, Space Ghost, C-Lab 2020, The Herculoids, and Birdman. And that animation was lifted by Cartoon Network's Adult Swim for the fantastic adult-themed shows such as Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which was a funny, random, just a really stupid show. I don't know, it was silly, stupid, and funny. They had C-Lab 2021. I never really watched that, and then there was Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. And so Alex Toth, he's a big influence, especially on me. Saturday mornings were all about getting to Super Friends. I love the design of the Super Friends, of the Hall of Justice, of Diana, of Batman and Robin, of even Wendy and Marvin and Wonder Dog. in the first season. And Wonder Dog, huh? Yeah, we go from Streaky to Wonder Dog. Yes, all from the mind of Alex Toth, huh? Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's going to be a short one. You deserve it as well as I do. Yeah, Alex Toth. This is and this has been the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. Yes. Who is Alex Toth? Who is John Galt? When is Casanova Quinn? Why is Gamora? We ask the serious questions here. We do. Hey, like and subscribe if you could be so kind. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day. I'm a chef, so I share cooking hacks with you. I'm an ordained minister, an amateur theologian. We get spiritual here. We have gratitude here. We also look at the skies early in the pre-dawn morning. We search for planets, and we often find them. And we also find bunnies eating breakfast. And I make shorts because I think it's cute. And I want to share this nature moment of love and serenity and of just getting some breakfast, starring a bunny. I hop to it. Good luck. Namaste. God bless. We will see you again tomorrow in the funny pages. Thank you. Bye-bye.